What's good, YouTube? You know who it is. It's your boy Neon Diamond 101 back again talking about Degrassi Next Class Season 3 Episode 5 hashtag huge if true. Now this episode is pretty good. Unlike most episodes, it had three storylines, but two of them were kind of in one. It was kind of like a two-in-one thing. So this will be a faster recap. By the way, let me know if you guys really care about the long ones. Sorry, I kind of just ramble on sometimes, but this will be shorter, I promise. Anyways, so let's start off with Hunter's storyline. He is getting ready for a date. He's, making sure his eyebrows are on fleek. He's making sure everything looks good. He's got his hoodie on. His hair is all good, so he's looking fresh. He's ready for this date with Yale. But Baaz and Vijay crash in his room, and we've seen this before, where he has plans, and his two friends like barge in, and they pretty much say like, "Hey, you've canceled on us like 7 times ever since you and Yale have dated, and things have changed. Obviously, even though they're still friends, like they've kind of broken apart since like Yale and Hunter are like dating, so that's understandable." But I think Baz like looks in his closet and says, "Hey, can I have these shoes?" And Hunter's like, "Oh, you can leave." And then Vijay says, "You know what they say about big shoes?" And then it's like, oh, like the immature, like, big shoes, big feet means you have a big penis. And obviously, Baz says the very intelligent thing, which Baz always does. He always says the most intelligent things. And what does Baz say? That they should measure. And Hunter's like, wait, what? So they decide to measure their penises, just a penis weighing contest. And Hunter cancels on Yale, and I'm like, wow, it was that easy. All you had to do was hear about a penis measuring contest, and Hunter's like, oh, I gotta cancel. I'm like, come on. But what I didn't see was that Yale comes anyways, and I think like she gives something because Hunter like said like I'm sick, and she like pissed off, and then she says they're having a guys' night, and she's like, "Well, what are you guys doing that I can't be a part of?" And they all just like look at each other and mumble like, and then she's like, "I'm waiting," and Baz says they're watching porn, and Hunter's like, "What?" And then Yale laughs, and she's like, "Your porn or your porn?" Because like VJ's would be gay porn and Baz is straight porn, so she's like, "Which one is it?" And obviously Baz is like both because he's like, what do I do? And so literally the next scene, probably one of the funniest scenes of Degrassi Next Class, is literally like Yale. I believe Jamie Block or whatever, however you say her last name. She is a great actress because the way she just like sits there like casually like watching porn, and then the rest of them, the guys are behind her on the bed, just like so like embarrassed and so awkward because they literally weren't going to watch porn, and then like she's making her commentary, and she's like, yeah, it's all about the guy's pleasure, and like that can't feel good for the girl. And then Spencer like, I keep doing this. Hunter takes the laptop, closes it. He says they weren't watching porn, and then VJ's like, it's not a good time to be honest. But I'm like, you guys told her you're watching porn. You might as well just be honest up front before this gets any more awkward. Um, so he's like, yeah, we're measuring our penises. We're going to measure, and she's like, really? And she's pretty much saying, well, don't you need like a judge or something? And she says like she'll measure, and it's just so awkward. And then she goes like to get a ruler or something, or like a whatever measuring tape or whatever. And then in the room, Baz kind of goes for Hunter and it's very apparent that Hunter he's very jealous of Hunter, saying like your hair and your house and your money and you got a girlfriend, and Hunter tells him like you can't date girls, and Baz pretty much like you don't know how good you have it and stuff like that. So for the first time, it's very interesting. We've kind of get more of Baz, like yeah, he's the awkward guy, but now we kind of get to know more of him. And obviously, I guess Muslim young boys, young men, sorry, that sounded wrong. Sorry, like young adolescent Muslim men, they can't date outside or outside of religion, or I don't know at all, but I'm not sure. But Baz is feeling some type of way, and Yale comes back, and Hunter pulls her aside, and she's like, "Don't worry, you won by a lot." So that's great. We learned that a hunter has a rather a large penis. I guess the episode "Huge If True" was very true to Mr. Hunter Hollingsworth. I mean, she didn't say you just won. She said you won by a lot. I'm like, uh, goodness gracious, but didn't need to know that. First of all, although I thought this storyline was funny, I thought it was super unrealistic. But then again, there are some girls who literally are like one of the guys, and they literally have no filter, and you like nothing can like offend them or phase them. So I guess in some ways like it's kind of realistic, but it's still kind of weird though. But whatever, it was still a funny storyline. So he says like Baaz is jealous of me, and ever since we dated, everything's changed. And she's like, I should be your friend and your girlfriend too. And he's like, please just tell them. He says like, okay, tell them it's Baaz, because even if you tell them it's me, they'll just think you said it because I'm your boyfriend. And so Yale's like, she doesn't really want to, but she's doing him a solid, and she says that Baaz won, and he's like, USA, USA, and he's just like really happy about it, and like so Hunter's happy, Yale's like whatever, but at least it's a win for Baaz, even though it's as small as it is, no pun intended. Get professional here. But even though it's like a minor win, like just like penis size, like it's a big deal for Baaz. So it just goes to show like what Baaz is about. So that's pretty interesting. That something like that can mean so much to Baaz. Like I feel like even if Baaz was like the biggest one, I feel like Hunter wouldn't even care. But it just goes to show like, anyways. So next storyline is kind of like a scramble of like three different arcs: Frankie, Shay, and Lola mixed together. So the girls are excited. They're in bed. Frankie's mom is gone to something. She won't be back until I believe tomorrow. And so they're all like talking about girls' night, whatever. And so Lola leaves to like do like some mask thing, and I think Frankie mentions that Jonah had like some practice and he'll be over, and then Shay's like, "Oh, I'll bring Tiny over." And so when Lola's downstairs, she talks to Miles, and she's talking about how excited she is about the girls' night because they really don't get to do it much, and so that's pretty cool. And back to Frankie and Shay, she tells Shay that she decided um, to see Jonah, and they've been dating a while, and so she might be ready to have sex. She's not sure, but she definitely shows that she's open to it. And so next scene downstairs, it's Jonah, Tiny, Zig, Grace, and Esme all show up to like party with them, and Lola is like, what is going on? Like I want to hang out with my homegirls, and now all these people are here. And Shay is looking at Tiny like, why are they all here? Because for them it was like Frankie just thought Jonah was coming, and Shay just thought Tiny was coming. But to have like Grace, Zig, and Esme in addition is like too much. And obviously Tiny's like, oh, we can sneak away later if we want to. And he kisses her, and Shay's very awkward about it. I don't know, something about Shay kind of annoys me. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure, but I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's like this season, but something about her. Anyways, they play Never Have I Ever. It gets pretty sexual. Um, and then Lola asks like a question. And then I think it's like Truth or Dare, and then she goes against. Well, no, it's before that. It's Never Have I Ever dated your best friend's ex, or something like that. And she pretty much goes for Shay, and it's really awkward. And it just goes to show that they still haven't resolved that animosity. Even though Lola asked if she could date Tiny, even though she knew that he liked Shay, even though Tiny did like Lola, but not as much as Shay, and it's like this whole big thing. Now I'm wondering like if at any point will Tiny like stop this trying to be a nice guy act and just like try to bang them both. I know that's not Tiny's character, but I mean they keep bringing this up like Shay and Lola have clashed before the season about it, and we've seen like in the past, even like last season when Shay was like trying to date Tiny and Lola was like, no, and so it just goes to show like they still haven't really resolved it. It's very awkward actually, but um, it's just very apparent that there's still there still is tension between them, and it's like okay, so now they play Truth or Dare, and Esme dares Tiny to go 7 minutes in heaven with Shay. I think it's like an old game where you like go in and like you're supposed to make out. It's one of those old. I don't know if it was old, but I don't know. It was very popular when I was like growing up. So like, oh, 7 minutes of heaven is pretty much like go in the closet and like make out whatever, make out and other stuff. Maybe I don't know, but whatever. Shay's like, nah, I'm good, because she's like very awkward about it. And so, and then Esme says, okay, Lola, you go. And then she's like, you trust Tiny, right? And so they go in the closet. I think when she's in the closet, what is it? Esme calls Shay a prude and says some things about her, and then she gets upset. Next scene, Frankie and Jonah, aka Guyliner, who I hate by the way. Just thought I'd throw that in there in case you don't know, but now you do know. They're getting it on, and she tries to unbuckle his pants. He's like, "What are you doing?" He feels uncomfortable, and he says he's not ready to have sex with her. And Frankie feels bad, and she leaves and knocks over a candle when she gets off the bed. Fire goes. I'm like, oh crap! I actually thought it was gonna be like a huge situation where like the house possibly gets on fire, but no. Miles comes in and helps take the fire out. Um, so that was awesome. And so in the closet, Lola's confiding with Tiny. He says she's awesome, that there has to be some guy out there for her. And then after that, to get out of the closet, she hugs him. Shay's like, "Did you guys hook up?" Tiny's like, "No, we didn't." And then Lola leaves because she's upset about something Shay said. I don't really remember. Um, and so he pretty much says like, "You only like me when I'm the good science kid," because he likes sex, and apparently Shay doesn't like sex, or she's not really. It's not a big deal to her because she has like that rant about why does everyone care about sex. So yeah, and then later Shay and Frank here are talking, and one of the lines of the episode is, "I tried to hook up with Jonah and lit my room on fire." Like, Frankie can't do anything right lately. Um, so yeah, and then at the end of the episode, towards the end, in bed, Lola and Miles, she's reading the play, and then they're having like a moment, and it's a lot of tension, and he asked her to play Hope, and she says it's not a good idea because she likes him, and if and she's worried if they keep hanging out, she might do something that she'll regret, or that will get her in trouble. Sorry. And then he's like what? And then they kiss. Miles and Lola kiss. If you told me this last season that Lola and Miles would kiss, would even talk, not even kiss, like literally, they're one of those people. They're one of those characters in this story who, prior to this, had no history besides one time Miles was on drugs and sent her pain. But that's like they literally, I never would have guessed like them interacting, them connecting, and then them kissing. But I'm not gonna lie, because that that can't even speak. I'm so like that build up was like perfectly done. Um, Both Amanda and Eric, the actors who play Lola and Miles, very well done by them. Just that tension and just like, is it gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? And it happened, and they kissed, and yeah. And actually, I like what she says. They kiss, and she says, "Are you sure you want this? Like, are you sure? Like you have a boyfriend? Come on, Miles." And I'm not gonna lie, um, it is. I know it sounds bad, but it kind of feels like with Miles going through everything and with Tristan out, it kind of feels like it's kind of easy to forget like Tristan is there, which I know it sounds very bad. Now we don't know what state Tristan will be in when he wakes up or if he wakes up, but I'm pretty sure he will. Because I feel like if they drag it on and Tristan dies, that would be terrible. And I know in the past, especially in TNG, I didn't like Tristan at all. But through next class, I think I've gotten to appreciate him more. But regardless, it's still cheating. Like, coma or not, whatever state you're in, still cheating. And they have sex. He wakes up. He says he feels guilty, but he feels good. And she pretty much says that it was her first time. But she doesn't want him to worry and think like she'll like, you know, be like one of those clingy girls. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Lola and Shay make up, and yeah, uh, Lola and Miles have sex. I don't know. Like, I almost think like the episode would have been better if they had just kissed and then build that tension even more. But nope, they just went right for it. So Miles cheats on Tristan. So that's pretty fucked up. Even though he's in a coma, he doesn't know what happens. I get it. He's under a lot of stress and stuff, and he does have a connection with Lola. And we've known Miles to like use people and go through this dark path with him liking Maya and then him using Tristan and then him liking Tristan. I don't know, but let's hope Miles doesn't go back to his old manipulative ways. And oh look, I'm rambling again. Although this is shorter than my last video, but still not as short as I thought it'd be. I thought I'd be like 12, 13 minutes, but whatever. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. What do you guys think? This is huge. Miles and Lola, this is... I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, but they do have chemistry. They would have had a great friendship, like a really good friendship, and I don't want to say it's ruined, but I don't know. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think. It's been your boy, Neon Diamond 101. Peace.